I didn't choose photography. Photography chose me because I was not interested in photography at all. It's my father that got me the camera and sent me away to school in the US. And then I kind of developed a love for it. It's just, it's one small step at a time, but I think the moment I got published, which was when I was nearly 18, my first cover at 18, it was a big warning sign for me, you know, that, hey, this is getting serious, right? So, I mean, you're a kid, you got an international cover, and 2 years after picking the camera up, I knew that was a bit different.
Who was your first cover?
Sebastian Coe, the great middle distance runner. Now he's Lord Sebastian Coe. Then, at that time, I think when I shot him, I think he held like 4 world records, I think. And he was, to me, still one of the greatest middle distance runners. I photographed him when I was 18, you know. Yeah, and it made it to the cover of Track and Field News.
How were you selected to do this photo shoot?
I was not selected to do this. I was just at the park when he was giving a running clinic. Just like the general public, you know, who was just invited there on a Sunday in a park in Eugene, Oregon, and he was giving a running clinic for the public. It was about maybe an hour, talking about, you know, his different training methods, because at that time he was #1. So I went down my camera with my $30 flash from Lucky Plaza. I got from Lucky Plaza and I literally shot a roll of Kodachrome. Put anything in front of me and I still get excited because I still look at it as a subject and how I can, like I say, you know, like interpret this visually. You know, I mean, of course, I do enjoy shooting a lot of nature and outdoor and landscape because it gets me out, you see, and I don't have to light. Whereas if I shoot inside, I gotta light it, I gotta be in the studio, I gotta do hair, makeup. It's a hassle sometimes, and you know, I mean, but it's part of the work, right? Doing a portrait of a celebrity or a musician, but it's different, you know. Whereas once I go out, I'm shooting Kyoto, I love it. It's just a camera, a tripod, and me, and a bicycle. You know, I go and cycle, and I start trying to capture scenes, you know. This is how all photographers start. That's why it's kind of nostalgic for all of us, you know, that have gone on the train where you're professional and you're trained to do that. And you're back doing what you did when you were starting out. Because I was starting out, I was shooting and riding my bike in Marine Parade, trying to shoot the HDB flats, sunset, and I mean, this is how my first World of film. So I am back doing the same thing, and it's a great feeling because it's so liberating. It's just you, the camera, and the subject, or whatever scene you're shooting. The tools have changed, obviously, right? Tool technology, but like I always say, it's like, these are just the tools, you know. The different cameras and the technology and the different light. The lights are nearly the same still, I think, a bit lighter. Maybe you gotta like familiarize with all the tools, the new tools, like your computers and your programs, but those are just tools. You can learn it and then boom, you can just go ahead and use it. You got social media, people are just eating this stuff up every 5 seconds, or 2 seconds even. You know, so how do you make an image last? That's one of the things. You want people to stay on your image, look at it like a magazine. You know, that's a challenge because there's so much noise out there.
How can you stand out in all that noise?
I think cream rises to the top, and I think good work always will hold on its own. You don't need to explain to someone that it's a nice image. They know it's a nice image. There's no substitute, I think, for something that's well crafted, well composed. And I always try, at least for my work, to craft it well, to learn about craftsmanship. You know, this is what I've been trying to do all these years. And because with good craftsmanship, it becomes timeless, it'll last. It will not be just a disposable product that now you see 3 months is thrown away, 3 months is thrown away. Shoes, clothes, you know, we live in a society that's everything's so disposable that, you know, you don't treasure things that last. Maybe you don't treasure things that last because they don't last. You know, and even for my images, I've always wanted, at the back of my head, when I shoot something or create something, I'm like thinking like, okay, like, how do I make this last forever? I mean, I know it's a weird thought, like, how do I make this timeless? That's always at the back of my head. Before I click it, okay, I don't want it to be trendy. I don't want it to last for a season. I don't want it to last for 3 months. I want to make sure when someone looks at this image, they can't tell you when it was shot. They all have that characteristic of just, you know, the nice art we see that we study in history books. There's a reason why they last, because compositionally and conceptually is so strong. It transcends time, and that's what I think all artists, all of us try to like strive for that.